We are having ourselves a fun sketch session today. So if you have a sketchbook or if you're doing it digitally, you got a Cintiq, Clip Studio Paint, Krita, whatever you want to use. Today is about taking thumbnails. You can see that I'm scribbling on some thumbnails here. And then we're going to choose one and then we're going to refine it. Now, you can never do enough of these. One of the biggest things that I advocate for when it comes to concept art and also just learning how to sketch, getting anatomy out, getting forms out, getting ideas out, is the thumbnail process. It's what this channel's all about. So I'm taking it from a creature design point of view, but everything that you learn on this channel and the things that you'll see in this video could be applied to more than just creatures. Because I feel like enough artists don't thumbnail and then they wonder why their designs suck later. So what I hope you get out of this is a sense of clarity. I used to be really hesitant when I would hear people say, well, you need to do multiple versions and multiple iterations before you come to a final conclusion for your sketch. And I'm going, no. I already know what I want to do. I'll just put it on the paper and I'll just make it awesome. And I failed to admit that it typically was not awesome. Maybe on a technical standpoint because it was drawn really well, but the idea was not good. So you can see that I chose the one on the right. Now, I put a question mark on that because I wasn't really sure if I wanted to go with the third one or the second one. I'm thinking, you know what? I've done several worm-like critters for clients for my channel lately. I wanted to do something that was a little quadrupedal, however you say that, and also kind of high fantasy, if you want to call it that. But you can see. Oh, by the way, I didn't even mention this. The brush that I'm using is Kyle Ultimate Pencil Hard. It's in Photoshop. It's in the dry media brushes. It comes default with it. We're not doing anything fancy here, folks. There's no reason to ask an artist what brush they use. So stop asking people that, because chances are you're relying on the brush to give you the same effect that the artist could do with any brush or tool. It doesn't matter. This is why when I do my traditional stuff, I tried to show you guys that you can just take a napkin or printer paper or any sketchbook and just use a ballpoint pen or a pencil that you find at Walgreens for 50 cents. Like, it doesn't matter. But anyway, here I'm putting in some of the outlines, thinking of the anatomy. Whenever you take a thumbnail and you make a larger version of it, some of the anatomy is going to change. I get really frustrated with this sketch, mainly that head. You're going to see as the sketch goes on, I keep changing that face. I'm really picky about the face, the neck length, and all of that. I think I change the eyes alone maybe 3 or 4 times. I move the head around, change the ear, change the horn. But that's the fun part about it. And this would never be the final version anyway. It's just the refinement stage. So if you guys find yourself feeling like you're not really completing your assignments or completing your personal projects, like you get about 80% or 90% there with a sketch, and you know it needs more refinement, but you want to rush the finalized version out to get it online so that you can do the next version. This is why portfolios fail. In that moment, you have to take a critical assessment on your work. Sleep on it. Don't look at it for a couple hours. Look at it at a different angle. Ask somebody that doesn't really know you about the sketch in general. Does it read well? Ask an art director that works at a studio that you want to work at. Be like, hey, can this cut it? And chances are they're going to tell you the truth, and it's not really going to be a snap judgment, but it kind of is, because, the lecture that I'm giving now is me coming from the point of view of working in the industry and looking with art directors and hiring managers and senior artists at bringing on new artists for the team. And it only takes about 10 seconds, guys. It only takes about 10 seconds to know if you're good enough or if the work is going to fit what the company needs. Okay. And I've gone over this in pretty much most of my videos. I'll make a little nugget here and there about it. But anyway, back to this sketch. All right, so getting the feet in there, that's usually a neglected spot for any creature designer. It's the feet. And I know I changed the calf and the knee height coming in a little bit, but you can see that I travel around the body when I find new and intriguing ideas and proportions that I could try. Here I am on that face again. I'm on that head. I gave it a humanesque head, or I gave it a humanesque head just because I feel like it could resonate with the viewer if it were to be turned into, like a final piece or card art or a game character or whatever. You should always have your characters resonate with the surroundings, NPCs, atmosphere. Everything is joined. Yeah, that head is ugly. It's funny doing this recording now because it's a voiceover. So I just drew this and then I recorded it thinking like, okay, well, this process isn't too bad. And it's weird looking at my own sketch going, oh man, that's an ugly head. It's the proportion. So I changed the proportion and I think I make the jaw a little bigger and I make the neck a little bigger. And also, a lot of it has to deal with just details around the eyeballs, too, because that's a place that I advocate for the most when it comes to bringing personality out for your characters and your creatures, especially the creatures. Now, a lot of times, they don't have eyebrows. They don't have muscles around their eye sockets to form an expression. In that case, you can still have personality come out of your characters and creatures by other means. For example, scars, old age, wrinkles due to old age, shape language, snarling, horns that are broken off because of battle, ears that may have drooped because of being old as an eon. Like it, there's a lot of different things that can bring out a personality. Okay, so the thing that I focused on there in this creature's head was you can see the eyes are determined, kind of old. So I tried to show some wisdom in there, and I'm just putting in some details here. So whenever you shade with a digital pen, it's never, ever, ever the same as a real pencil. I just want to reiterate that. I want to get into that for a little bit because I feel like a lot of new aspiring artists are jumping right into the digital stuff. And you can do some beautiful stuff digitally. I'm on Photoshop every single day for my job. I have to paint, I sketch. But the skills that you acquire from a physical sketchbook and learning how to glide your hand and your arm and your pencil across real paper texture, it's unmatched. The reason it's unmatched is because you form an emotional bond with the art of drawing when you're looking down at the paper and you feel it. Now, that doesn't suggest that Cintiq tablets don't allow that. It does. The only thing about Cintiq tablets is that even if you buy a coating that feels like paper, it's never paper. It's a digital pen. So my advice, learn sketching on paper and those skills transfer over digitally because some of the best digital painters in the world sketched on paper first. It's very, very rare that you find somebody that's truly amazing that only started digitally. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying, please trust me on this part. It's the same thing with 2D sketching transferring over to people that want to sculpt in 3D. It's the same thing because they understand form and they understand what's going on the other side. Hopefully you're liking this sketch too. You can see me building this. It's probably going to be like a 2-point lecture here, where if you mute my voice and just watch my sketching with some techno music going on, or if you don't want to watch this and you just listen to this as you're trying to fall asleep at night, I don't know. But anyway, you can see the details coming out in this head. Check the links in the description below for my online course, Creature Design for Film and Games. I've been teaching that for 8 years now, and we hold a 20 student capacity for each term. So I just wrapped up winter term. Some truly amazing students came through, and then spring term is starting up in the next couple weeks, so be sure to check that link. Join our Discord too, Creature Design Workshop. You don't have to be a creature designer for the workshop, but the majority of the folks in there are creature designers. But we still talk about drawing and collecting reference and being good at anatomy and knowing what to study. So check that out. You don't have to have a skill level to join that Discord. That Discord's free. It doesn't matter. And I do run a mentorship. So if you're serious about becoming a better artist, we do hit the fundamentals, which unfortunately and stubbornly most artists skip because they don't want to draw a cube. And then they realize that they can't draw form and function in their regular concepts because they don't know how to draw cubes, cones, cylinders, and spheres. Anyway, hopefully the sketch that you are doing right now, which I hope you are sketching right now, the sketch that you're doing right now is evolving in front of your eyes. A lot of my videos, please check my videos, by the way, if you're interested in about, anxiety, mental health, art anxiety, and taking out that old dusty sketchbook and filling it up again. Because that's what my channel's all about. It's to get you all to draw again. It's hard to get back into something when you have not found the desire to do so. I totally get it. We all have that. So, please comment below if you guys are thinking about taking on the art career. Where are you in your journey? How many years have you been drawing? How many years has it been since you've drawn? Let me know that. And I really do hope that you found this helpful. You can see how these sketches come out from a thumbnail. Do this every day. Every single day, do thumbnail images. And I can almost guarantee you that even in a week's time, you're going to have a breakthrough. And art is all about breakthroughs, so you have that momentum to carry on to your next projects. Thanks for watching, everyone. See y'all next time.